What's up, YouTube? You already know what it is. It's your boy El Lobo, YouTube's #1 hype man. You already know on this channel we cover a range of different topics, but today's topic is going to be about cars, and the car that I am currently driving, it probably gives it away by the leather stitching. It's going to be about my 2018 Hellcat wide body, and basically what it's been like owning it for 3 years, but not only what it's been like, what it has been like owning it for 3 years, but I'm gonna give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, so far, I wanted to start with the ugly. Okay, the ugly. I would say the major thing that's like probably the ugliest part about this car, the ugliest part, is that people want to steal your shit. I'm not joking, okay? This is a very exciting, eye-catching car. So, you know, especially me coming from the Bronx area or any NYC area, as you know, if you drive a Dodge or a Charger, people have their eyes out for your car. And for me, somebody, I would say probably a month ago, tried to break into my car. Not tried to, they broke into my car. They shattered my window, and in shattering the window, they also, you know, tried to just, you know, do the best that they could to steal it. Now, luckily, I'm still in the car, you know, and they did not steal the vehicle. But that's something that I would say is like one of the ugliest parts about this car, where it's like people see it and they want to steal it, and that's one of the worst feelings, where it's like, man, like, do I always have to look over my shoulder? But even with that ugly tidbit that I've given you, don't let it stop you from owning, you know, a Dodge Challenger or Charger. I would say the bad, okay, the bad comes in two forms. So it comes in two forms. So the first part is that not only do people want to steal your car, but it's really easy to steal the car. I mean, if you buy this car off the lot or off the dealership, right off the dealership, you immediately have to put some form of anti-theft in the vehicle. You have to put, you know, either a neutral strap cover, which is right by the gear shifter, because people can literally take a piece of plastic off, that's right next to the gear shift, and put your car into neutral and roll your car away. Like, that's not a good feeling, where you're like, all they have to do is break the window and then boom, pull the neutral strap cover and roll the car away. You know, I'm like, hold up. And also the alarm system on the car isn't very good, so I recommend upgrading your alarm system, keeping it, you know, just, you know, basically if you got a little flashing light in the window, you know, I've seen those upgraded anti-theft features where, like, you can see the alarm is active by like a red laser light or a green laser light, and it lets people know that you're not playing around, you know. I would also recommend getting a steering wheel lock. Definitely, I do it every night. It's right behind me. I'm not gonna grab it because I'm driving. I gotta keep my eyes on the road. I would also recommend putting air tags in your car, just as like a low-key way to keep track of your car if all else fails. I also have car lock in my car, so it senses vibrations. All of you have seen, you know, the advertisements of car lock, so I'm not gonna go into it too much. But if you do want me to go into it, let me know, because I can. And last but not least, the thing that saved my car from complete theft, the bad and the ugly, was a kill switch. Okay, a kill switch saved my car's life. I'm not going to tell you what type of kill switch, as it may make it easier for thieves to steal, but I would highly recommend a kill switch. If you have a, you know, a Dodge Charger, Challenger, Listen, just make sure you have the anti-theft set up, because I've seen countless stories where individuals will have their cars, they're so happy, oh, I got it a week ago, 2 weeks ago, they put it in a mall parking lot and then it's gone. And I'm like, you gotta put that anti-theft into your vehicle. So that's the bad and the ugly, how easy it is for people to steal the car. And then the ugly is more so just how people want to steal your car. But the good, let me talk about the good real quick, because I always save the best for last. Listen, if you are, you go ahead, there you go. If you are a car enthusiast who loves the V8 Rumble, give Dodge a try. I know they stopped making the Challenger and the Charger, but just give, not even if you're gonna buy it, but just give it a test drive. And when you hear that supercharger whine just going through your ears, there's something about it where, you know how like white noise relaxes people's minds when they're about to go to sleep? That's what the supercharger whine does for muscle heads. You know what I mean? It's just like, ah, oh, this is amazing. And just the car in and of itself is aesthetically pleasing. I mean, it looks like the, I don't know if you've seen the new Batman film. It looks like the Batmobile. It's just, it looks heavy. It looks strong. I love a big, boxy car. I've driven, you know, Dodge Challengers, you know, most of my life. I started off with a 2010 RT, but it's just aesthetically pleasing, auditorily pleasing. I know a lot of people talk about the interior. I actually love the interior because a lot of people that do these car reviews, listen, they don't keep it real with you, all right? Like, if you grow up in like a normal household, like, yo, your first car was from like the 1980s or 1990s, bro. So like, you, there was no GPS. Yo, you were balling if you had the CD player with the graphics. You know what I'm saying? So anyone that's hating on this interior, all right, guy, you can go ahead. Don't be so nervous over here. Anyone that's hating on this interior, come on. Like, I don't know if they grew up in our era where it was like the 80s and 90s, and then when you started driving, it was either an 80s or a 90s vehicle, but you had the cloth seats, you know what I mean? Oh, I ran over something in the street. It looked like a stick or something. But yeah, you had the cloth seats, you know? Sorry about that, my people. I had to adjust the gate because it's cold, windy, and rainy in New York City. Hold on, gotta back it up, baby. Gotta back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. All right, here we go. So, like I was saying before, now we good. Let's turn off the car. So like I was saying before, everyone talks so much smack about the Dodge Challenger interior, Dodge Charger interior. Oh, this is such a, you know, everything's plastic, and then look at this, you know, they start tapping on things, you know, like doing the ASMR stuff. And I'm like, listen, this interior is a great interior, okay? Because it's all about perspective, all right? I don't know if y'all, like I was saying before, like if you grow up in a normal, you know, middle-class family, you know, you get your first car, that John was from the 1980s, all right? It was from the 1990s. Like, if you, listen, it had the cassette player, and listen, you had to be MacGyver out here. You had to be a genius to get your MP3 player to play through the car, all right? You had to get the cassette, put the cassette in, and it had an aux hanging out the cassette. Then you put the aux cord into your MP3 player, and that John only had, what, like 10, 15 songs when MP3 players first came out. So just to see how far, all right, technology has come in the vehicle, just the comfort wise, heated seats, what's that? You know what I'm saying? Like when I first started driving, I had a 99 V6 Mustang, okay? When you're talking bad about interiors, that interior, okay, is, ooh, there was no heated seats, cloth seats, okay? Everything was plastic, you know what I'm saying? And then before that, I had a Nissan Maxima 1998 GLE, okay? And it had the leather seats, but it didn't have like the heated seats. It had a Bose sound system, so the sound was booming. But same thing, you had to put the cassette in with the aux, plug it in, and you had your MP3, and you're like, oh, yo, I have the world. So for those who are talking smack about the Dodge Challenger and Charger interior, take a second, all right, and realize how far we've come, all right? We've come so far. All right, so that's what I would say. I love the interior. I love the gauges. I love the dials. I love the Uconnect. I will show you guys a video later on about how to repair your Uconnect. If you're getting bubbles in your screen, I figured out a way to repair it. It's really easy, super easy. So in another video, I'll break that down for you guys. But I was so mad because my Uconnect was getting ghost touches, and I was like, okay, I'm deducting a few points from the interior, but it's heated and cooled seats. So honestly, I love it. You know, I love how it keeps the sound out. You know, I feel like that's another thing that a lot of people don't talk about is the nature in which, you know, the sound is kept out, like the outside noise and also the inside. So let's say you're speaking and you're like, oh, I don't want someone to hear what I'm saying, and you're on the phone on an important phone call. No one's really going to hear, you know, what you're saying. Third of all, and most important, I would say, is the reliability. I think a lot of people have the misconception, oh, Dodge, it's unreliable. You're going to drive it 1,000 miles and it's broke. You know what I mean? So to keep it real with you guys, I bought this car used. It had 30,000 miles. And with 30,000 miles, I bought it in 2021. And with that, I was like, okay, I feel like this car was treated well, because I bought this car from a mom and pop dealership. It wasn't really like a big name dealership, and I drove to New Jersey to go get it. And as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with the car, but I was just so nervous. I'm like, man, is this car gonna be reliable? And let me tell you, if you treat your car well, it will treat you well. I haven't had any major, thank goodness, any major repairs that were needed on the car. You know, when it comes to that, I feel like a lot of people are like, man, like this car is gonna break down. But if you know where to get your parts from, so for example, to the way that I circumvent a lot of trouble in terms of paying high prices is, what you have to do is go online. Like, say I saw someone on a report where they were saying how, oh, not a report, what did I say? A internet post, a report. Look at my brain going into work mode. A report. So I saw a post where someone said, oh, I had to pay $500 for an oil change. I had to pay $300 for an oil change. And I'm like, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, technology is so readily available, but I feel like at the same time, people don't want to do that extra bit of research where, you know, they know where to get the discounts from. So for example, buy your oil online. You can buy your oil from Amazon and go to the shop, and then they just drop the oil in there for you, and you save so much money. You know, for example, everyone's like, oh my God, Brembo brakes is so much money. Oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? You can literally go online, and I'm gonna drop a gem in here. And if you have made it to this point in the video, put a gem emoji in the comments, okay? Go to rockauto.com, my people. Go to rockauto.com. And you may be asking, what is rockauto.com? Rockauto.com is heaven for car people, okay? Because it's heaven, because they have car parts that are quality car parts that you can order them, and then you can go to your favorite mechanic, or go to, you know, the dealership or whatever, and say, hey, put this in the car. You see these brakes I just bought? Put these on the car. Because then it gives you that choice of freedom to remove the middleman. Because I was like, oh man, these brakes are going to be so expensive. And they were not even that expensive. And I'm talking, these are OEM Brembo. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, they just overcharge just to overcharge. So do your due diligence and, you know, do that research, okay? But overall, I love this vehicle, the V8 Rumble, auditorily, you know, the interior, I love it, the reliability, and also, when I speak of reliability, I drive this car year round. I drive it in the snow, the rain, the summer, fall, any kind of weather, bomb cyclone, you know what I'm saying? I will drive the car around. And what I've noticed is that it does very well in those type of conditions if you know what you're doing. So if you just keep yourself nice and easy does it, you're not going to slide and fishtail and do all that. I see a lot of videos where people are just speeding at 80 miles an hour. And then they're just wondering why they fishtail or, you know, spin out. And I'm like, you got to slow down. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. You know, if you're looking for a Dodge Challenger, Dodge Charger, I would say if you can afford it, go for the Hellcat, you know, and if you can really afford it, go for the red eye, you know what I'm saying? But I've watched a lot of reviews and saying that it's pretty much similar. It's like tomato. And I was just like, you know what, let me just go for the Hellcat, you know what I'm saying? Because you have to also, with these cars, you have to also be financially responsible. You don't want to be the person that's car poor or try to flex for people that don't even know your name. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. Scat packs are great as well if you want that mid-tier range of that V8 power. RTs are great as well if you want that V8 power. And hey, not the V8, the V6 is great as well, you know, so just keep that in mind if you're looking to, you know, get a Dodge Charger, Dodge Challenger. I highly recommend these cars because they're eye-catching, they're powerful, they're reliable, and that's why it was so sad when I was learning that, you know, they weren't going to make these cars anymore, because I'm like, oh man, they're so just fantastic, you know what I mean? So just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. If you all have any questions about owning a Dodge Challenger, Dodge Charger, any other questions outside of this video, feel free to hit it in the comments below. I will get back to each and every one of you. And please, like I always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and listen. It's your boy El Lobo, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.